Now, part of ownership is coming up with your own understanding of a social issue, especially what they term today as a complex social issue or social problem. But given the short period of time when we ran the classes for bridging leadership, I introduced the understanding of the dynamics of the social issue, understanding the vision or the alternative reality I want to create, no? And knowing the kind of people you have to work with. I ran the sessions in a way that it traverses both ownership and co-ownership, because you do the same thing. You do the same thing. You do this thought process alone in ownership, and you do it with the group if you decide to enter in the co-ownership phase. So that is where it is right now. In the co-ownership phase, I also realized that in the beginning, to illustrate that you need to work with people, what Professor Garilla would do then was to get a case where people role play a particular case, like an Indonesian case, no? Bunaken, I think it was called, no? Where different stakeholders had to wrestle with the idea of what to do with a particular island, each stakeholder having their own interest. And so to illustrate what it meant to dialogue instead of to fight, we would do the role-playing thing and then reflect on it. But being in the field, I knew that this was not enough. So if you do that, and you go to the field, would you be able to handle dialogues? My answer was maybe not. Some would be able to do it because they are naturals. Others will not. So eventually, when I started to think about it and got a chance to really answer the question, so what else must be learned so that people can become better at managing dialogues? This is where the work of Peter Senge and his learning organization came in. And in the work of Peter Senge, he says that a learning organization has certain elements, which is personal mastery was one of them. So that falls under ownership in the BL process. But he had other things that I felt were important in the ownership phase, which was mental models specifically, and then shared vision, and then team learning. So these three, no, were very, very important. And this is where I developed learning experiences that can be done in the classroom to illustrate what the reality of mental models and how it works and how it can be shifted. Came up with activities to understand what does it take to have a shared vision with people who do not think the same way as you. Oh, there was another element, systems thinking. I think Ernie already knew that then, no? And he used the causal loop to illustrate it. And up to today we use that because it really shows that you can only understand a particular issue if you see it from different perspective. But the beauty of Peter Senge's work is he showed how this could be illustrated physically through the causal loop. And the very exercise of trying to figure out how one is related to the other makes you see that everything is related. So 5 elements yun.